Hey, what's up everyone? So when I post a video, I do read comments. I might not read them all, but I at least try to. And in one of these last videos, I actually read something, and there's been an influx of new people to our channel, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and a lot of people don't really know some of the nitty and gritty behind Ohio Fish Rescue and what it takes to actually keep this place running and or how we do it. So in this video, I'm going to kind of explain to you guys and give you guys a little bit more of the backstory and how things, go around here at the rescue. All right, so for starters, to keep something of this caliber, this size up and running, always keeping the water crystal clear, the fish fed, fish happy, trying to keep up on the glass, keeping it clean. As you guys may know, that takes a lot of time. So, along with time comes the money. Water's not cheap. The electricity to put the lights on, the pumps, the air, all of that is not cheap. That's not even including, filter media, because it does go bad. So you've got sponges inside the canister filters. You've got socks inside of the sock table. We have dechlor for treating the water and doing water changes. At least for us, we do a constant drip. So we just kind of have to dose the water that comes in or put it through a carbon block. And as you guys know, carbon blocks cost money. There you go. You're finally getting it now. So, if you're doing carbon blocks, you're probably replacing that every 1 to 3 months. And at the volume of water that we are using, it is more frequent than it should be, because we are on such a massive scale with all the fish that we own, all the waste that comes through here from these guys, the amount of money it takes to feed them. The feeding bill alone is absolutely astronomical. When you think about one fish, let's look at this 6.5-foot arapaima right here. This fish alone will eat 1 to 2 pounds of food a day like it's nothing. And this came to us as a rescue, and it takes a 58,000 gallon pond. Now you guys might not be able to get the size of this pond on camera, but this pond is 45 foot long, okay? It's 25 foot wide. This deep end used to be 12 foot deep, but there is some aqua blocks down there with some filtration that's beneath the gravel. So we still get the water volume, but there's a little bit less swim space for the animals, but that's how we keep this water so crystal clear. Greg Whitstock and Aquascape came out, and they designed the filter for this pond alone for such a heavy stock and bio load. And as you see, there's hundreds of cichlids in here, and keeps the water crystal clear. Of course, all that equipment was not free. I mean, Greg did donate it to us, but someone had to pay for that, Every time a pump goes bad, that's not free. We have to replace it. If you look at that pump right there, that's a small 1,800 gallon per hour mag drive pump, probably about $100. If you're talking about the pumps that run this monster pond, you're talking like $600 a piece, and there's multiple on this pond. So as you guys can figure out, it takes a lot of funds to be able to keep something like this going on a daily basis. Going back to the food, it takes an astronomical amount of food. I feed around 15 pounds of food a day, and I break it up sometimes. Like I'll feed this pond and a tank in there. The next night I'll feed another massive tank. I'll feed these tanks with them. And then the third night I'll go ahead and feed the rest of the tanks. So let's go ahead and take a walk in here. And I do a cycle every 3 days. And of course there's fish that get fed every night. Like the rays get food every single day. I keep my armadas fed. I keep the arapaimas fed because they're some of the biggest mouths. And then I feed stuff like the babies that we are growing out that we want to grow, the baby stingrays, clown knives, sturgeon, And of course we have the baby tank over here, which is, you know, more fish that we're growing out, smaller arapaima, pangasius cats, tigerfish, stuff like that, that you want to keep their bellies full because they are small and growing, and at that size you want to do the best that you can do to keep them full and happy. Okay, so let's try and step away from the operation side, and we're just going to talk about, you know, going out and doing pickups. Like every time my dad or Reaper goes on a trip, that also costs money. You're paying for gas, tolls, wear and tear on the vehicle. You're paying for food for your helpers to come out, and all that stuff adds up. Yes, sometimes you just get some awesome fish. Well, you know, that could be a case of someone's done and they love what we do. They want to see their fish on display here, so they give us some rarities. Other times it's people who can't take care of their fish, and they just need a place to surrender them and know that they will be taken care of, because what we offer here is a service. Ohio Fish Rescue is not a building that you can come and pay to visit. We are not a commercial building, but we are a service. We do rescue and rehome fish, but me and my dad set up this whole facility here as a sort of display. For one, to hold fish that we are rescuing and rehoming, and of course to put on display to try and educate the public, to bring awareness and education back into the fish hobby. We've been doing this for so long, and when you think of, you know, fish tubers or fish keepers, someone who's been doing it on this caliber for so long, I really could not tell you someone like that. There's importers out there that I know have been around forever, but what I'm talking about is the massive hobby. Like, for someone to have this in their private collection and to do this for so long, everyone that I've known has come and gone. Even people who've gotten a bit bigger than us, they've came in, they've had their fun, and they got out. But to keep at a steady pace and just keep up with the times and staying relevant, that's one of the hardest things you can do in any industry, is be able to stay relevant. We have stayed relevant for far too long, and we don't plan to go anywhere. But you have to be smart about it. You have to be knowledgeable. You have to have, you know, the people behind you. And we've done all of that for so long. All right, so as I'm walking around, you guys see this building that all of these fish tanks are in. And some of you watching these videos might think, oh, he's in a warehouse, he's got money, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the case might be, but some of us know that this is actually our home. This is the side of my dad's house, and this is a building that my dad actually paid for to try and do this, because if you guys know, this started off as a hobby between my father and I, and he wanted to do something with me, so we got into the fish. One thing led to another, and here we are. We've created something great and awesome. The original fish room was from there to here. We then added on this additional 11-foot room, and we expanded the fish room a few years back. At first it was just supposed to be that room, then it was just supposed to be this room. And some of you are probably thinking, oh crap, that's another expense. That is true. This original fish room was built 12 years ago now. God, where does the time go? And I think at the time he paid something like 30 or 40 grand just for that room over there, and we did a lot of the work ourselves. We did the drywalling. We did the vinyl siding over there. Like, we did as much as we could to try and cut costs. And then my dad added on this room, which was another 20 or 30,000. I don't remember, but you get it. The ticket is not cheap. And in today's time, if you were trying to build the same exact thing, construction costs have gone through the roof. So it might even be 3, 4, 5 times the cost, which is absolutely insane. So then we walk out here and you think, oh, Well, yes, this was a swimming pool that was bought with the house. This room was already here, but my father, you know, being the man that he is, he gave up his entire swimming pool room. Now, if you could imagine this, this was a crystal clear, chlorinated pool. This was a big aisle walkway. That was a big aisle over there for entertaining. You could have pool tables over here, couches, you know, whatever you want. We'll want a wet bar over there. He could entertain hundreds of people out here and have the space for it. But he dedicated this part of his house to the rescue. So we've got fish tanks here. We've got fish tanks there. He then converted his pool into the recreation pond that you guys see, know, and love today. So, you know what? But that doesn't stop there. You know, on top of that, you know, there's electric, gas, water. You guys know it just keeps coming and coming. But the amount of fish that we rescue is not getting any smaller. We only seem to be growing and growing and growing. So my dad came up with an idea, and we designed and built this koi pond out back. We actually dug it out ourselves. We did the rock work ourselves, which actually needs a cleaning. All the koi are starting to wake up and stir up all the dirt because we had a very mild winter. This is all nothing but mud. We have to get out here and clean up this whole river system here and try and get this back crystal clear. But as you can see, this is another huge undertaking and cost. That pond back there, that was another huge cost. As you guys are seeing, a common theme here. Large costs that come with opening up a fish rescue or any animal rescue at that fact. All right, so yes, there is a massive cost that comes with running, operating, and owning Ohio Fish Rescue. My dad has given up nearly half of his entire home to dedicate to these fish. So I hope you guys know and appreciate all of it, and you guys can come to an understanding that a majority of all of this work for the last, okay, we've been here for 10 years. We've always, actually 13 years, we've always rescued fish, but legally as a 501c3 nonprofit organization, we've been here for about 3 or 4 years running a legal nonprofit organization. So like I said, I hope you guys know and appreciate all the work and money that we've invested out of our own pockets to go ahead and make this happen and create something good for the community. Now for the past years, this has all been coming out of pocket. It was nice when we got the YouTube rolling because we hit a nice little benchmark there to where the YouTube was paying for all the operational costs for the rescue. Since then, you guys know that the social media has taken a dive, and we've implemented new ways. We've got adoption fees and whatnot. Of course, we get donations too, and we do appreciate everyone who donates to do the cause, because obviously you see where it's going, the amount of fish it helps, and just, you know, the good we do for the community all around. You know, it never ceases to amaze people. Of course, we have our haters on the internet. That's fine. You're not doing something right if you don't have haters. That's the way I look at it. But, you know, I'm just glad that we can be doing something great. And for all you people who always ask me what it takes to run a fish rescue, well, I hope anyone asking can be pointed to this video right here, because it is astronomical. And I didn't even talk about the cost for some of these aquariums. We bought a good majority of all of these tanks. Now granted, a couple were donated, like that 580, that 350, the 500 cube over there. Those were all donated, but again, I had to drive to Indiana for that one, pay a whole crew to come with me and load it up. I had to drive to Rhode Island for that and bring a group of 10 guys to be able to lift it and carry that. That was, you know, crazy. So of course there is still costs that are with going and getting a free tank. You got to pay for transport. You know, we walk in here. You guys don't even want to know the cost of some of these tanks. This tank we went and picked up from New York City, and this tank my dad bought out of his own pocket. This we bought brand new from Tenacor before they closed down. These Bellagio tanks we actually bought from a liquidator in Las Vegas. Yes, we got a sweet deal, but it did not come cheap. We still had to pay for a semi to drive from Las Vegas to here, fly out there, load up the tanks. This tank here, 2,200 gallons. This was at a car dealership that got rated and whatnot, and the feds came in, sold everything at auction. People were there for cars. They were not there for fish tanks. So the first person put in a bid of $750 and won that aquarium for the first bid of $750. They turned around. They're not into fish. They put it on a jewelry ad on Facebook on a group, and one of my followers seen it and said, "Oh, you guys need this." They put it up for $1,500. Well, of course we went ahead and got it. They thought they made out like a bandit. They just doubled their money. They were happy as a clam. I waited until I got the tank loaded on my trailer. I handed them their $1,500. Well, my dad did. And once it was on the trailer, we're like, "Hey, do you know how much this tank is actually worth?" And they're like, "No, what?" I'm like, "You could have probably sold this tank for 10 times the price. You probably could have got $15,000 out of this tank easily if you marketed it right." And their jaw just dropped. Well, I'm like, "Well, you know, you got your asking price." I knew what it was. I knew it was a great steal of a deal. And now it's been here set up, got put to great use for a very long time. So that is basically what I'm calling the financial burden of Ohio fish rescue, because there is a lot of expenses that come along with it. And I hope some of you guys can understand that. And if someone asks in the comments, maybe share info to this video so everyone can know. I mean, we are a public entity, so I love sharing information with you all, and I will continue to do so throughout the years. I just seen a comment pop up on one of the last videos, and I'm like, I feel like this could be a good informational video that I can share with all of you. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay fishy, my friends.